Hello and welcome to another Aaron 73 Gordon video. So this video comes on request from one of my viewers on YouTube. His name is Nonplayer and a very good role player. Let me put up his message here. Yes. Which screen here? So, Aaron, can you create a role-playing tutorial? He's a good role player to start with. I role-played with him and I enjoyed role-playing with him a lot. So, yeah, he just want to, I'm guessing he just want to spread the love of role-playing the rest of us. So, and I feel like this is basically the best place to start at, my Steam account, because if we are going to talk role playing, we need to talk about a lot of different games and also a lot of different ways to role play. So to start off, if you want to start role playing let's take something easy. So, and it's not a part of this list here. So let's say World of Warcraft. A lot of people play World of Warcraft. I have played it in the past, and I did some role playing in it. Actually, quite a lot of role playing. And in that game, it has a bunch of lore. So that's the first thing you need to learn about, the lore of the game, what has happened in the past, and especially if you have such an old character as I used to have. I had a night elf who was at his well, depending who you ask, he's an old guy or a mid-aged guy. I kind of want him to be a mid-aged guy. So he's 5,000 years old. He's been around for quite a lot. Well, for quite a long time, I should say. So, what has happened in the game during those very long years? And right now, I can't actually repeat all that because that would take me forever plus a bit more. This would be a very long video if I would start reciting lore in World of Warcraft. But so what I started off with was learning some of the lore, not all of it, obviously, but some of it. And as I created my character, I started to build his history. So my my night elf has the biggest history of them all, and I'm sorry to say it was such a long time ago I was playing him that I honestly don't remember his name. I made one character at one point and didn't plan to actually roleplay, so that it's actually the same character. So he used to be called Aaron, and well, a night elf called Aaron is really not a suitable name, sort of say. And back when he was born, humans and night elves had not met yet. So I changed his name to, I believe it was something that started with an N. I actually looked up a good night elf character's name and gave it to him. So that's the first part of the tutorial. Name your character correctly and also build a history behind your character. And that is a requirement for every single game that you're going to roleplay in. And I have been roleplaying in a lot of games, like EVE Online, and before that Freelancer, and before that even with pen and paper. I used to do some role playing in Rust. And of course, I'm currently playing Star Trek a lot, alongside with Final Fantasy. And both of them I do actually role playing. But something people find interesting is that I also roleplay in single player games. Like, for example, Fallout 4. I don't have it installed right now, but as I create my character, it's going to have very specific traits in this game. It's going to have certain knowledge. So if I actually played with both characters, both Nora and Nate in this game, and of course they were not called Nora and Nate when I was playing them. Actually, Nora was called Nora at one point. I actually played Aaron and Nora with a mod, so I could actually have both characters in the game. Yeah. So in this game, it's actually pretty easy, like, to create the lore behind your character. Depending on how old you make him, of course. But Nate was a soldier. That's canon in the game, so you use that. He was a soldier, basically. What type of soldier, though, you can actually select yourself. So I made him a sniper. Nora, however, well, she's a lawyer. Everyone knows that too. So I roleplayed her completely different. She was not so much into heavy weapons and such. Like, she had her 10mm gun that basically Aaron had taught her how to use. Because before shit started to hit the fan, she actually never ever used a gun in her life. So, and you build it like that. So, if we move on to a different game, though, like I said before, there are different ways of roleplay. So, and in EVE Online, that's actually, I would say, the second game I roleplayed in. And it was very interesting roleplay, but still, you start as always, build your character's history, and also make sure you have a character story arc. So I actually changed my character quite a bit in this story. Pretty big change. At two occasions, I would say. So when I started to play this game, I knew it was very PvP heavy. And as you all know, I'm not much into PvP. So I actually made him into a miner and builder, Aaron in this game. And then I met some friends. And at that point, I started to PvP in the game because we had a cooperation and we ended up in wars from time to time. So I changed the story slightly, and yeah, how do I? So in this game, you don't really roleplay in game, not in a conventional way, because as soon as you log into this game, actually, as soon as you leave the space station in this game, you are under constant threat. Anyone can fly up to you, anyone can kill you in a matter of seconds, actually, depending on what you have, what type of ship you have. So you don't roleplay that much in this game. We had a few meetings in the game. Actually, we had one big meeting every Sunday in this game where we had a cooperation meeting, which was basically in-game role-playing. But to express our characters, we wrote stories. And that's actually where the story Aaron's Made You Change came from. And it is it doesn't bring up the history of the character that much. Like it is a few years after Aaron joined the Department of Justice, and it is after he basically. Actually, now when I think about it, that's actually the wrong way around. So, the story goes like this for this character. Before he joined the Department of Justice, he did missions, and so the first trainer, the first person to actually train him was actually his father, who was commander within Concord, which is the Eve Universe form of police in high security space. After that, he joined the Caldari army, basically, as a cover ops agent, and he did a mission there that basically failed, according to himself, because he was lied to. That's the short story of it. So his boss was actually corrupt, and so he sent Aaron away to destroy a freighter, an Amar freighter, which is, according to lore in EVE Online, Amar and Caldari are basically not on best of terms. They tolerate each other, I would say. And so he destroyed this freighter that he was told was filled with weapons of mass destruction. But it was actually filled with slaves that tried to escape Amar oppression. And as he actually found found out about this, he went back and basically executed what he calls his first criminal at that point and left his resignation. That's the beginning of the story. So, and this goes way back. He was young. So you can imagine how traumatized it might have been for him. Like he just killed hundreds, if not thousands of people within a freighter, and then walk up and shoot his boss at point blank range. Of course, he was trained at the time, but still, I'm literally telling you about his first kill. Well, so yeah, he left, and Marcus Ravens, which was the CEO of the Department of Justice, heard about this and actually came after him and decides to recruit him. That's actually the role-playing story. It turned out completely different in game, but yeah. But he did not pressure him at all. Like he knew how he felt. As we say in the corporation, Marcus always knows. He could literally read Aaron's mind like a light year away. And yeah, so that's how you build a story. Like if you would ask Marcus, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. We have collaborated with this since I'm involving another player into this. And yeah, and then you continue to write stories. So it's not the ending of Aaron's Major Change, but in the end, he actually flies into a wormhole and disappears from the game. That's basically when I left EVE Online at that point to try other games, which I kind of wish I never did, because I still love the game. It's an awesome game. But it also gave me an opening. Like everyone knows that wormholes are the most unpredictable thing in the universe. So I have played Aaron in several other games, like No Man's Skies. Hell, he even showed up in Conan Exiles, actually. And that's a completely different story, a very long story around that. So he showed up in Conan Exiles, Elite Dangerous. I played with him, and he actually got his ship destroyed by the Fargoids over there. His Raven class battleship. And yeah, I actually have friends in Elite who still plays it today, and I actually wrote the story, what actually happened, and they agreed. It was a good start to bringing in Pilot into the game. What else do we have here that I played? Yeah, like I said, No Man's Skies. I did a bit of a lazy start on that game. Basically, the story goes that well, I basically took the DayZ start. He finds himself on a planet, unconscious. He doesn't know what actually has happened, and a lot of the stuff that happens in this game, like the information you get in your helmet and all that, actually matched up very well with the information he would get in his helmet from EVE Online. So yeah, Star Trek Online. I have just started to roleplay in this game, so I have actually not come up with a story in it, but Aaron and Nora, who by the way is normally dead, actually showed up in this game. So to compensate for that, Aaron is human, of course, and Nora is actually a liberated Borg, because she's dead in the EVE universe. And Aaron actually had, well, it sounds wrong to say consciousness, but her likeness as his ship computer. It was obviously not sentient or anything. It was basically a computer with her voice, and yeah, just as a reminder of his failure, as he calls it. Star Wars. I have actually not played Aaron. That's the wrong Star Wars game, but Star Wars: The Old Republic. I have not played with Aaron in it. I have completely different characters there. And yeah, but even though this is a single player game, I do roleplay in it. Matter of fact, I'm planning to play this twice, both, well, to see if I can go really dark side in this game. So yeah, that's basically how you build up your character, and holy crap, that took like 20 minutes to explain. Again, there are different ways of role-playing, like I said. So I so far have told you about 2 ways. Actually, yeah, actually 3 ways. So you got the way of Fallout 4, which is basically you role-playing with yourself and how you want to make your character. Unfortunately, it's not very role-playing friendly, since you basically can only go good guy, at least until you hit the Nuka World DLC. And at that point, it feels so wrong to like, yeah, I'm going to go bad guy right now in a role-playing perspective. So I only played good guy in this. But I was going to continue here, so DayZ. I'm actually looking for it. Here it is. So DayZ is the only game where I actually have a voiced character that I actually role play with a voice. And I usually say it's in the near future. It's a post-apocalypse game, as most of you probably know that I've been watching this YouTube. So, and you have, well, we don't call them infected, we call them zombies. We don't call them zombies, we call them infected. Wow. So you got infected people here that acts a lot like zombies. They move fast, they have a lot of strength and all that. So I actually I made several characters in this game. The two characters I still have is right here. Mikael Hansson is Swedish, and yeah, he's actually a truck driver. And this picture doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to be here. This is actually a picture of Mikael, but I don't know why this picture is here. And yeah, I actually made this page for both Mikael, who basically is a civilian, and Chameleon. Oh, I put them on. Yeah, I don't know why I have both of them. So, and Chameleon is actually German. So I have 2 pages here where I wrote some stuff. This is basically if you have seen him, you don't even need to talk to him. Like you got some information here, what you actually have seen. And you can basically make judgments. I don't know why I have birth date here. Also wrong. It should be age. So he's well, he's around 40 years old according to the DayZ calendar. He's a pretty big guy, 92 kilos. He's not very long, but very muscular. And you can see he's got hazel eyes and all that. So if people see me in game, they can go over to this page and actually see this information. Now, if we go back here, here it is. We also got some more private information. If you're character interested in learning more about the Chameleon, this information can be obtained with relative ease through common social interactions or some clever questions. So if we, wow, I guess this page doesn't really work as it should. Huh, weird. All right, well, usually there are supposed to be some information here. Like, for example, does he have a wife? What is his interest? And all that. And, well, Mikael Hansson here, he's like an open book, he doesn't care. But Chameleon is actually very secretive. Like, no one, except his father actually, know him by his normal name, Mats Gardner. Everyone else actually knows him as Chameleon. He always introduces himself as Chameleon. And that's actually mostly to protect his friends. Like, and yeah, adding a bit of extra flair to the character. So that's those 2 characters. So they are, like I said, very different, and but they are also friends. And now, depending on the rules on the server. Like I used to play on a server called DayZRP. I don't recommend that server anymore because yeah, reasons. But I actually was allowed to have both characters there and have limited interactions with them. So Mikael and Chameleon were actually friends. Actually, I would even call it trusted friends. So that's how you can actually roleplay two different characters together. No one could actually see them ever together, though, because I could only play one at a time. But a lot of people knew that Mikael was a very good car mechanic. Actually, he was educated car mechanic before he became a truck driver. So he actually helped Chameleon fixing his car, while Chameleon taught him how to properly use a rifle in a situation against people. So it was actually Chameleon that taught Mikael how to actually use the Hecklenkosh, which was Chameleon's favorite weapon. Mikael, though, he actually preferred the M4. So yeah, that's some small details that you can put into the game. And Mikael was married with his wife Nora, who he was very worried about, mainly because she knew nothing about guns. She was literally that person that was looking down the barrel into the gun to see if it was loaded. So that's small details that you can put into your characters. And well, I actually told people about Nora in game, like Basco, for example, who was a very nice character in the game, and we actually had a laugh about it. I didn't have that much. I didn't have that much. What should I call it? History behind Nora, but Aaron, and I mean Mikael and Nora basically met in Sweden because he was an exchange student from the States, and Mikael actually moved over to the States, to Texas to be more exact, and married Nora. So Nora was actually in this game at one point. And they never had kids. Like both of them was kind of busy. So yeah, they never had kids. Mikael was all over the country in his truck, and Nora was actually an accountant. But yeah, they were happy together. Sometimes Nora actually, when she had a vacation, she actually used to come with Mikael in his truck as he drove around. And yeah, they had a very loving relationship. So that's also a way to roleplay in DayZ. So obviously, it happened that sometimes Mikael met some people who was not as nice, and maybe even got shot a few times. And that's also something you actually have to role play. Like, take for example, you get shot in the leg. Or worse, you get shot in the leg and you break your leg. You actually do have to roleplay that out and maybe be incapacitated for a few real life days. Like you can move around obviously with crutches if you're lucky enough to actually have found some. And well, both Mikael and Chameleon was very lucky to actually have met Deebs, another character in this game, who was actually a doctor. Actually, I believe she was not a doctor. I believe she was a veterinarian. But in the post-apocalypse, I would say that's close enough to a doctor. So yeah, and you actually talk to people. I'm not very good at changing voice, but so I basically more or less talk the same way with both characters. So that's why Chameleon and Mikael had vastly different clothing. So people would actually recognize them. Of course, sometimes some people like, oh, hi, Mikael, as they hear me talk, and I usually say something like, no, I'm the one with the slightly more German accent. And oh, hey, Chameleon. Because as far as I heard, if you hear a German and a Swedish person talk English, accent is very similar. So I could go away with it. And both characters was actually very much liked in the game. At least until some people more or less destroyed the server, I would say. So we actually moved. Some of us moved to different servers. As you might have seen on my post here, it actually says DKRP, which is actually a different role-playing server used to play on. And well, me, Deebs, and Hector, and a bunch of other people within the El Familia community actually moved around a bit and tried some different servers. Can look here at my DayZ folder. We got Bastion. I think I was the only one trying that server, and it was not that fun. We got Chronicle RP here, and yeah, like I said, there is a lot of good role-playing servers. Matter of fact, if you're interested in role-playing in DayZ, then I can always give you guys some Discord links. Just ask for it, and I'll definitely put it down there. So yeah, there is not much more you can actually say about role-playing. So to recap, first consider the lore of the game, then consider the history of your character, and don't deviate too much from your how your character is acting, unless something actually happens in the game that makes you deviate. So that's the three big points that you need to think about. Like Aaron, when I play him in space games, he's very much unchanged still, even today. Even though when I play him in different universes, he's still basically the same guy. Like, of course, he can't tell people where he actually comes from, but yeah. And in different games, he actually have to learn how to fly different ships. Like take for example from EVE Online, where you actually mind control your ship, basically, so it does what you need it to do, like you think it. To my second game, where Aaron actually showed up, which was Elite Dangerous, when you literally sit in a cockpit and have to control the ship with this weird looking stick and this throttle. That's a pretty big difference. But of course, with Aaron's experience in spaceflight, he also knows a few things how to navigate space and how to survive. So yeah, that's going to be it this time. This is well, we just passed 40 minutes here, 42 minutes actually. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions about role playing, feel free to write it in the comment down below, or hit me up on Discord, and I gladly answer any questions you might have. So until next time, stay safe out there.